Thank you. Thank you and good morning. It is a privilege to return to the Buckeye State because you played a pivotal role in preserving our Union. In fact, before a battle, I had a habit of asking my generals this question: how many Ohio men will participate? When one of my commanders asked me why I wanted this information, I replied, because I know that if there are many Ohio soldiers to be engaged, it is probable we will win the battle, for they can be relied upon in such an emergency. When the 166th Ohio Regiment finished their service, I made the following remarks. I suppose you are going home to see your families and friends. For the service you have done in this great struggle, I present you sincere thanks for myself and the country. I almost always feel inclined, when I happen to say anything to soldiers, to impress upon them the importance of success in this contest. It is not merely for today, but for all time to come, that we should perpetuate for our children's children this great and free government, which we have enjoyed all our lives. I beg you to remember this, not merely for my sake, but for yours. I happen temporarily to occupy this big White House. I am a living witness that any one of your children may look to come here, as my father's child has. It is for this the struggle should be maintained, that we may not lose our birthright. The nation is worth fighting for, to secure such an inestimable jewel. Nearly 320,000 of your sons served, and nearly 7,000 Ohioans laid the ultimate sacrifice on the altar of liberty. In fact, Lewis Davis, Mayor Rodebaugh's great-great-great-grandfather, was left for dead on the battlefield at Gettysburg. Happily, he survived and walked home to Northwest Ohio. I will close with a speech I delivered at that Gettysburg battlefield. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation, so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that the nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But, in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from earth. Thank you, and congratulations on your 150th birthday.